Welcome to a study in celluloid, everybody. I'm Spencer Henderson, and today I'm talking to you about Eddie the Eagle, directed by Dexter Fletcher. Eddie the Eagle stars Taron Egerton, who plays Eddie Edwards, and this movie tells the true story of that man and how he had a sole ambition through his entire life, and that was to become an Olympic athlete. And along the way, he realizes that his ticket to becoming an Olympic athlete is through the dangerous sport of ski jumping. I really enjoyed Eddie the Eagle. I thought that it was a lot of fun as a movie. It is a feel-good movie down to its very core. This is one of those movies that the sole purpose of it is for you to leave the theater and go out and look at the world and humanity in a positive light, which I found rather refreshing. After watching a ton of movies like The Revenant and The Hateful Eight throughout winter, it was pretty refreshing to see a movie like Eddie the Eagle that looks at humanity from a positive standpoint, that makes you go outside after the movie and say, there is good in humanity out there. By far the strongest aspect of this movie is Taron Egerton's performance as Eddie. I thought that Taron Egerton was great in Kingsman. However, his performance is a completely different level in this movie. He is very, very authentic in every single scene he is in the entire movie. I remember first seeing the trailer for this movie and thinking, oh boy, he's going to play this character really cartoony. I saw the glasses and kind of his look, and I thought this is going to be overacted. He's going to play some of these moments for cheap laughs just because this guy looks goofy. And I was wrong. He did not do that one single time. He has much respect for this man as a human being, and it really, really shines and shows in his performance, which I, as I already stated, thought was fantastic. Another great part of this movie is Hugh Jackman's performance as his coach, Bronson Perry. Bronson Perry is also an underdog, a lot like Eddie. He's somebody who life hasn't turned out the way that he thought it was going to turn out, and he's adopted a couple self-destructive tendencies along the way. By far, one of the strongest aspects of Eddie the Eagle are Hugh Jackman and Taron Egerton's chemistry. Whenever those two are on screen together, the movie works very, very well because I think they both know how to work with each other, and I was fully invested in these characters' stories. Some of the best scenes in the entire movie are them just training together. The conversations that go on between them. There's one really, really funny moment involving Hugh Jackman telling Eddie how to release when he is jumping on his skis and going off of the lip of the jump. And that part was really, really funny. I thought that it felt really realistic as two, grown men talking to each other. And those sorts of moments were my favorite moments in the entire movie. Another great technical aspect about this movie was the cinematography. I thought that the way that they filmed the ski jumps were super, super cool. There were some shots where I was like, man, that is a cool looking shot. There are a couple flaws in this movie, and let me get into those real quick. My biggest issues with this movie probably lie in the script and the direction. The script in this movie doesn't always feel ridiculously authentic. There weren't any scenes in this movie other than probably the last 10 minutes that had any true authentic tension. Throughout the entire movie, people doubt Eddie. Everybody basically except Eddie at some point in this movie doubt him. And there were times where it felt really true. One relationship in this movie that I really, really admired the way they handled it was Eddie's relationship with his mother. His mother was constantly supportive of him in this movie, and I thought the actress who played her, who I don't know her name, I'm sorry, was great in her role. And there were points where even you might think that she might be doubting him, but she's his mom and she never stopped supporting him, and I really respected the way that they handled that character in the movie. However, everybody else in this movie who doubts Eddie, it felt very cartoonish the way that they doubted him. It felt very inauthentic to me. I'm not saying the flaw is that everybody doubted him. I'm saying the way that the movie was handled, the performances in those scenes were handled, maybe even the direction of these actors, it felt in points in the movie pretty inauthentic to me. There were a couple scenes where Eddie would succeed or something, and then there would be the one guy in the background who still has to be, the jerk of the scene and make Eddie's life hell. And it kind of felt a little bit forced in a couple moments. Overall, I really enjoyed Eddie the Eagle. I would recommend it to anybody who's in the mood for a good sports feel-good movie. It's something that you could go watch with your kids if you have kids, or go watch with your family if you have family, or just go see if you want to feel good about humanity and the world and know a true story about somebody who had a dream and decided to chase it no matter what got in their way. I would give Eddie the Eagle a 7 out of 10. It is absolutely worth your time. Coming to you from Colorado, I'm Spencer Henderson, and this is A Study in Celluloid.